Hi, I'm Denise Sullivan, Nutrition and Health Education Specialist with MU Extension. Today I'm going to share a healthy and tasty apple crisp dessert from our friends at Cooking Matters. For our apple crisp, we're going to need 5 apples, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour, and I've divided these out because we need some for our filling and some for our topping. Also for our filling, we need 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon and 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And then for our topping, we also need 1/2 stick or 2 ounces of unsalted butter and 1 1/2 cups of whole grain oats. So the first thing we do before we start cooking, always wash our surfaces, always wash our hands, and I've done that ahead of time. And I've also washed my apples before I sliced them. Now I do want to show you a quick and easy way to core and slice your apples. We start by cutting them in half, and then with that half we'll go ahead and cut that down again into 4ths, and then cut kind of just diagonally right across that core, and so then it's ready to just slice those up, and I'll add this extra 1/4 to our bowl. So with our 5 apples, we're going to add 1/4 cup of that brown sugar and the cinnamon and the nutmeg. I'm going to toss this together real quickly before I add the flour. And the cinnamon and the nutmeg is going to work with that brown sugar just to bring out that extra sweetness. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of the flour. This is going to help thicken up that mixture as it bakes in the oven. So, toss that around till everything is kind of coated fairly evenly. All right. Now the apples are ready to go into our 8x8 baking dish. I've sprayed this with nonstick cooking spray so that that's going to keep that from sticking too badly, because those sugars are going to want to stick as this bakes. Okay, so there's our apple mixture all ready. Next, we need our topping. So we'll start with our butter. Now this is that 1/2 stick of butter. You either want to cut it into tiny cubes, or you can do like I've done, and I used the large side of my box grater to kind of break that down. I'm going to add the rest of that brown sugar, so that's 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and I'm just going to kind of crumble those together with a large fork. You could use a pastry blender if you have one, but you just kind of want to mash that butter and sugar together. Then we'll add the rest of that flour, that 1/2 cup minus the tablespoon, and mix that together until it's crumbly. And we just want to keep working that butter mixture down and break those butter clumps up to make it nice and crumbly. You could also add a little bit of cinnamon to the topping here if you want to, or if your family likes nuts, that would be a nice addition to the crumb topping. Okay, when we've got that kind of combined together, we're going to add our oats and get that kind of mixed together till it's just nice and blended and crumbly. Want to get those butter clumps kind of broken down just as much as we possibly can. Helps to make it melt and blend just a little bit easier. And scrape the last of that butter off of there and bring our apples over and put our crumb topping on top of our apples. push it down into the corners, spread it evenly, make a little bit of a mess in the process, and that's okay. This is an 8x8 pan. A 9x9 pan actually works a little bit better, gives you just a little bit more room. If you have a large deep dish pie pan, you could even use that. So now this is ready to go into a 350-degree oven, 45 minutes, and then you want to let it cool for about 15 minutes before you serve that. When it comes out of the oven, you've got a wonderful, healthy, delicious recipe. I hope you'll give this recipe a try.